Okay, we're recording.
Okay, welcome everyone to the wallet development and testing session for Tuesday, March 24th. We've got kind of a light group here with us today. I don't have anything particular on the agenda.
Why don't we go over the staking contract?
You want to do that? Yeah, I'm open for that.
And the multi-sig. It would be good to have NutZipper or somebody. I don't know if how much Raphael can help us, but we can certainly look at it.
Well, Raphael has
through them.
Yeah, Raphael has some expertise in Rolang. So, and this is sort of a DApp developer session. So this is timely. So just a little background, and for those watching, so the CoLab is creating a RChjain community staking pool. Jim, Gary, and Dan Conley are kind of leading the way and organizing that. Dan Conley has created a smart contract in Rolang to help govern and manage how the staking pool is going to work. So we're going to go through that now to read through the lines of code for the smart contract so we can get a better understanding of how it works.
So this is the in the RStake repository. This is the first draft of a stakingpool.rho. And what did Dan say about it? What does it do now? Let me go back and see if we can find his words. Pretty basic, just a smart contract where the creator can authorize withdrawals.
Okay.
Okay, so it's not complete.
Yeah.
But I guess if we can it can't hurt for us to learn a little more about it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So okay. Let me understand what that means exactly. So somebody contributes their rev. So right now, since we're in we're using testnet, we're using test rev. But let's say everything is actually functioning and working. So you have a smart contract, and we say we spin up our node and we bond at the start of the epoch at 250,000 blocks. So everyone's who's interested they're in the staking pool, they're connected. So transactions occur and it's creating and everyone's generating some rewards, and so this is a smart contract for them to collect the rewards, but it would only be at the end of the epoch. So I guess if they at the end of the epoch, if they choose not to withdraw, means that they would put in a request to withdraw from the staking pool at the end of the epoch, or they can continue in the staking pool but only withdraw the rewards. That's in my mind what withdrawal means.
Yeah, well, not sure where we should start here. If we started the test program or the contract itself. If we look at the test program here.
Yeah, and just for the viewers, I said all that, but that's not necessarily what we're going to be looking at here in the smart contract. Dan may have other ideas, and we'd have to speak with him to get an understanding of what we're saying. But we can kind of work through it.
So here we're looking up the address of the multi-sig vault, right? And if we I did try to run this yesterday, and I did have some problems with it. So we could test this to make sure that it works okay.
So is that it? Is that what we're looking at now? The lookup for the multi-sig? No.
Right. Okay. So so this is a simple contract that Thomas Love has built into here, so we can do a registry lookup. We click on it. We just paste in the address we're looking at for here.
Okay.
And it's these power box, these these row special values are in back quotes, single back quotes. And so this is going to, this is also an example of how we get a result back. We have a deploy ID channel, which we call return in this case. And then we write to the return address, the value from the registry is value. Okay. And then if I make sure we have testnet here, we have testnet node 1. We're using our node 1 robot.net as the read-only node. That's the one that we're running.
Okay.
We need an account, and we need to give it a name. This is the, we can look at the balance. It's got some rev in it, and then we can go to down to custom deploy here. And it looks good, so we do a deploy. We can look here to see if, to make sure that nobody futzed with the thing and it's actually doing the thing that we want it to do.
Right.
Because yeah, if the if the website is corrupted, it could do something other than what we're asking it to do. So it's checking result now, and
let me get a better understanding of what we're doing. So, are we trying to find the address for that multi-sig Rev wallet that we're using for the community staking pool?
No, well, this is the contract, the address. Okay, I had a problem yesterday when I ran this. Okay, I did not get a it did not succeed in reading these values back somewhere. So I just wanted to make sure that that it's actually here. And
okay, so you're trying to read back what our community staking pool multi-sig Rev wallet is.
No, this is the contract. The multi-sig Rev vault.
Well, right.
Okay, is what we're going to call here first. We're going to send to it a make seal or unsealer.
Right.
And
no,
we can seal something into the contract and unseal it to get it out, as I understand it.
What were you doing in Tomislav's on Tomislav's web app? That's what I was.
I was just saying, making sure that the multi-sig Rev vault address is returned, because I questioned that.
You weren't when you say returned, you want to see if you can return it, not necessarily what it is, but that you can.
I don't care what the value is, right?
You don't care what the value is. You just
as
want long
to make
as
sure as long as it's not null.
Right, that it's okay, that it's accessible and that it has a value.
Right. I don't know if if anyone has ever loaded the multi-sig wallet into testnet or used it. Okay, so I'm just making sure it's there.
Okay.
Okay. And Oh no, object. Why is that giving me object? I don't get it. I guess, Raphael, do you know why? Or how to fix that? That's a problem I have sometimes. But this is, I've tested this and I have been able to get values back that I could print.
Value is a tuple. The last bunch of row length you showed us, it was another file. The tuple was how would you say it?
Okay, I know. I think I know now. Tell me if I'm right. This is what's returned here is not a simple value.
Yes.
What it's returned here is a tuple with multiple values in it.
Yep. So instead of 4 add value, you should just do what you showed us, what was written in the previous file. So the 4 add value, you replace it by 4 at, and then you unconstruct right. The like this. Yes, line 76.
So when I get this return multi-sig reg vault channel, okay, when I read that channel, it reads a tuple with 2 things. The first thing it returns we don't care about. We don't give it a name. That's the underscore just means is a placeholder. You know what it returns is the first argument. Second argument it returns is the multi-sig rev vault address, which is what we want. The unforgeable name for the multi-sig rev vault, which then we call. We make a sealer and an unsealer. And if we look at the multi-sig contract, the multi-sig rev vault contract, we can see that when we call the contract, it's the return value is going to be, where is it? Is it all the way down the bottom? No, Control F, correct. That's red S. That's red U. That's red. Okay. Sealer, unsealer, is that what it returns? Yeah. Sealer, unsealer. So I'm not sure why, but we
so you have to do just like the line 76.
Okay, so I don't know why. Yeah, we don't know what the. I'm not sure why this returns 2 values. You know.
No,
but
maybe
then when we actually call the multi-sig rev vault, make sealer unsealer, we get back. Okay, we're going to read on the brand pair channel, both the sealer and an unsealer. Okay, I was looking at the wrong thing there. Do you know why we're getting 2 values, a tuple of 2 values back from
maybe
the registry lookup?
Maybe the first one is eventually an error, but in this contract it is not checked, it is ignored, but maybe in some other case you might want to make sure that there is no error.
Okay, so we can certainly look at that.
Yeah, you can.
We can say, okay, we're going to get back a value and an address. or what do we call it? We call it we can call it an address for now, I guess. Not
Yeah.
really an address. It's
I
an
think you have to.
unforgeable name.
Maybe you have to quote it with a star.
I'm gonna call. All right. If it's an unforgeable name, and I want to make it a process, I got to do a star. And same thing with value here.
I'm not sure about this, but let's try it.
Okay, and then I'm going to do value, and then I'm going to do unforgeable name here. Does anybody have a question on this, or does everybody understand what I'm doing here?
Yeah,
This value channel is going to return a tuple of two things, okay, based on the usage that we find here. We can see that the lookup here is going to read two values back. Okay, it's going to match the pattern of two values. And oops. So I'm going to deploy this and sign it. Whoops, got an error. Line 713. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Okay, that's strange. Use in process context. Maybe
Variable value.
Maybe just the second one needs the star. In the example, there is the. Maybe you can try just, but I'm not sure at all because I'm always miss.
I don't see where I've used value anywhere else. So, oh, okay. But I should be able to make a name. But this is a process context. So I don't need the star. This is the process context.
Maybe not.
So I don't need the star at all. Oh, this must have been where I used it wrong. Okay. Yeah. In a tuple, that's a process context. So the value and unforgeable name here are processes, not names.
Okay.
And then I do a deploy. Then it's fine. Now it has to receive this into a name context, which is why I have the @ sign in front of the tuple. So this tuple is a process. I make it a name by putting an @ sign in front of it. Since I have to receive names, I don't want to confuse people. Well, we can go back to the staking pool now and go on. And we're going to find out what value we're getting back for this first thing that we're ignoring. That was just a matter of curiosity more than anything else. We didn't assign this to any name here. That's interesting. This has an @ here, which makes this a name. Right, because we want the multi-sig rev vault to be a name, not a process. So we put the @ sign in front of it. Okay, multi-sig red fault. We do a make sealer, unsealer, and we have a brand pair channel. I don't know what brand means here. That would be good. Anybody have any clue why they call it brand?
No.
But we read back a sealer and an unsealer from the brand pair channel. And then we go right to the logs, brand pair. We write them out. And then we call staking pool create. We're going to create a staking pool. This is the test program. So here's where we created a test program. Here's where we create a staking pool. Now we can actually try this. We can do this. We can create a staking pool, and we give it an unsealer and a staking pool channel. And then we get the staking pool from the staking pool channel. The way to look at these is a promise. Is like a promise, okay? Everything happens in parallel. So when we send this message to staking pool, create an unsealer and a staking pool channel, this is a promise that we're going to get back on this channel a staking pool. And now we get the staking pool, and we write to the log, we got a staking pool. Okay, and let's just go back to this and see if we're done. That's interesting.
Okay, so
That's interesting. I don't know what this is. Okay, we did a return of a tuple with 3 arguments, but we got back one with 2 arguments. I don't understand. That's interesting. That's weird. Right? First thing we had was a string, value from registry. There's value from registry.
and then a number.
And then we got a number. We don't know whether this is.
Could you go a bit scroll just to see the raw?
Oh, right. We can see the result down here.
It's a number. Okay.
Here we go.
Yep. So basically, I don't know what happens.
So so here's the tuple, and it has the data. Value from registry. Expression string, expression integer. So we got an integer back. We didn't get the unforgeable name, the unforgeable string. I don't know why. But I don't know what that integer means.
Yeah, you should have had a unforgeable as a third. No, I think
I'm going to play it again just without see if I get anything back now.
I'm not sure that this will work.
Yeah. I hope I'm not confusing people doing two things at once here, but I'm curious about it. So we got a staking pool back. We're back to the staking, to where we got a staking pool. And any questions so far?
No,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. To do, match a la let to dry out. 1, 2, 3, 4, comma 10. Use match.
It's fun. I think à la lettre.
1, 2, 3, 4, comma
Because
10.
à la lettre sounds like the French expression à la lettre, which means
Oh,
at the
Allah. It's a good thing we have a French person here. Allah.
which means very precisely letter by letter.
Okay, let.
So
Okay,
maybe,
let is not supported yet, right?
don't know what this means.
But it means, you know, I guess like a lot to dry. And what does dry mean? Dry programming. Okay, I mean that's what I've done all my life, and I couldn't remember it. Don't repeat yourself.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, I mean this is part of agile programming and everything else is dry programming. Don't repeat yourself. So the 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 10 are repeated more than once. And the let, we can let variables equal the 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 10. You can say amount, let amount equal 10, and then put amount in here rather than having 10
okay.
twice in the code. Right. Okay, so now we call the sealer of the staking pool. And we give a rev address and an amount. And so we're passing this tuple which has to the sealer, and we get back a promise of us that we'll get back a sealed order on the channel.
Okay, so this is the operation where I say I put 10 revs in at stake, right?
I think so. Okay, if we look at the sealer, we give it some value. In this case, we're giving a value which is a tuple of all the information, right? And then there's a map, a map store associated with the multi-sig rev vault, and we put an empty map. We initialize that to be an empty map, and then when we call the sealer, we make a new box and we put the value in the box and return a pointer to the box. Return the name of the box. Okay, so I guess we're going to look up this box later in the map. Is what I would guess.
Okay.
And we're going to have this information just stored in there. Right?
Okay.
So we get the sealed order back. Okay, now we're calling the staking pool, we're calling a redeem. And we're redeeming this account, the amount 10, on the sealed order. And we have this TX channel. Okay, so now we look up here and we're going to see that we do a redeem for the target address, amount, a sealed order, and a return. And we're going to, this contract knows the unsealer address, although we didn't pass it to it. It knows it because it's still in context, since the unsealer was the name was read up here. When we created the staking pool, we passed it the unsealer. Now the to-do here says many unsealers. I don't know how. I wish we had Dan to see. I mean, we're apparently creating this with just one sealer, and we really need multiple sealers. Okay, and okay, so we seal this, and we get back success or failure. That's the okay, and we get the order back, which, if we look at the unsealer, we see it's going to look up given a box. It looks up in the map and looks, see if it contains the box. And if it does, then it returns the value in the box. Well, what value is in the box? It's that whole tuple of values. Otherwise, it returns false and the string invalid box. So, so the sealed order is actually a box, the box that was returned, right? When we, where am I? Multi-sig, staking pool. So that's the box that we got back from we sealed this. We got back a box on the sealed order channel. So this is the box. So here, the staking pool redeem, we're going to pass the box, and the redeem, we're going to give it the box. We unseal the box, and we get back the order. Okay, and it's going to be true if it succeeds. We actually have that box in the multi-sig wallet. We get the order back, and we print out whether we got it. Okay, so if the order's okay and the order's equal to self, okay, this staking pool the same target address. Okay, so when we do a redeem, we have to tell it what the target address is. So we're verifying that that target address is actually in there, in the box, and the amount is the same. And then we return. We're going to return here. And the transaction channel, we're going to do the multi-sig, we're going to do a transfer of the target address of the amount of the new Rev Vault, the Rev Vault auth key, okay, which is the Rev Vault auth key was got an auth key here. I have to look at that. And we have a transaction channel, and then if we have success, we return a message. So I mean, it didn't seem to do any transaction until now. So I'm not. It would be good if Dan can explain that to us. But when we did the redeem, it actually got it actually let somebody take money out. So I guess the creator of the contract can specify that Joe can take out 100 revs, and then Joe can take out 100 revs. And that's, I guess, what this whole thing does. If we look at the transfer here, Control F, transfer. Okay, we see that the I mean, it's ultimately going to transfer the target address, the amount, the Rev Vault auth key, success channel, and I'm not quite sure where we get that from. When we do the transfer, we give an auth here. I'm going to verify. There is a video where Mike goes through this. I was going to watch that video, but I didn't get around to it. I was having some trouble finding it. But we can see the basic idea, I think. You know, we get the basic idea. The only thing this does right now is it allows you to create a staking pool and allow somebody to take money out of it. Now, how do you put money into it? Well, anybody can put money into a Rev address. And now it seems clear that we could create a method here that if you put money in, it would let you take it out. That would be the next step, I would think. But then maybe we would have some kind of switch. Maybe you would need, you couldn't take it out until the owner of the contract did something. And then the contract owner capability would probably need to be made some kind of governance thing so that it was, you know, it would either take multiple signatures or take some other condition in order to work, so that there would be some contract that would create the staking pool and keep control over what gets done to the staking pool. I don't know if that was valuable for other people, but it's something I wanted to do, is
Yeah, that was helpful.
to go through that.
And one of those conditions where someone could take money out would be at the end of the staking period. So they can put in a request. It would sit there waiting until the end of that period, and then it would just be redeemed. That's how I'm assuming how it would work, or the way we're trying to get it to work.
Right. Well, this just says, okay, you can take out. You can't take anything out until I say you can take it out.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Of course, it could be done the other way, and I guess the next,
Yeah, right now it's more manual. Maybe in the future it'd be automated, but yeah, so that would be, you can't take it out until I say you can take it out, and the trigger for that would be at the end of the staking period.
right.
Okay, that makes sense.
So if you have a list of who contributed, you know, if you right now, it's just well, nobody's adding money to the staking pool right now. In this example, you know, nobody's adding to it. You're just taking the money out. So we would assume that this account has some money in it. We could staking pool. And then we can check the balance. There's why it's taking so long. Oh, it's the wrong account anyway.
You trying to share your screen, Jim?
No, I can.
And we're getting close to the top of the hour. as well.
Okay, I'm just checking to see if this is. Okay, so looks like there's no there's no revs in there, so nobody's going to be able to take any out.
Okay.
So maybe I should transfer some rev to there. I'll put in 100 rev. That way, 10. We can run it 10 times.
Okay.
All right.
Good deal. All right. Well, yeah, each time we review Rolang, it's always helpful. You know, I learned something new. So later on today, so 2 p.m. Eastern time, we'll have the DApp developer working group, and we'll talk more about the staking pool and try to decide on a time to have this get to know everyone type of session. So, all right. Well, thanks everybody. So I guess we'll meet back here next week. Okay. Have a good day.
Very good.
Thanks, Jim.